Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas to you guys. This is totally Sassy T from the 803. And you guys, Merry Christmas. We are here with a video. And when I say I got some shocking information about Shanquella Robinson's case, that I went back and I started to read statements. And yes, I got proof. It's right here on my intro. When you guys come in, stop it, read it, okay? And then you can see what I'm saying. So, to me, yes, this was a cover-up. This was very interesting when my eyeballs popped out my head. And I'm like, I cannot believe I missed this. I cannot believe it. So, before we get started, remember all things on this channel. It is alleged. It is in my opinion. It is for learning. It is for teaching. It is for sheer entertainment when entertainment applies. Because we do reality TV and we do reality here, okay? And today, this is reality. You guys. So I did, I was going to be free today. I wasn't going to do any videos. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to read over some stuff because I wanted to do an in-depth video again about Shanquella Robinson, just about the facts. Okay? No hearsay, no this, no that. The facts. All right? So, I went back and I wrote some notes down from Nazzeer Wiggins' video. He incriminated himself. Khalil Cooke incriminated himself. When I say, y'all, oh my God. Okay. So, we all know Shanquella Robinson, the beautiful 25-year-old who went to Cabo, Mexico on 10/28/22 with 6 of her associates or acquaintances, one being supposedly her best friend, Khalil Cooke. Dejanay Jackson is an acquaintance. Khalil Cooke was supposed to be her best friend. Alyssa Hyatt, Winter Donovan, Nazzeer Wiggins, and Malik Dyer. They all went in for a birthday trip of Nazzeer and Dejanay's birthday. They were stayed at Cabo de Linda 21. Yes, that was a beautiful villa. Beautiful. One-story villa. They got there. They arrived on 10/28. They seemed to have a good time. That 10/28, they were eating with the chef. He had made tacos. According to Salamandra Robinson, Shanquella's mother, Shanquella had called her. Salamandra said that Shanquella was in good spirits. She was laughing, having a good time. And she said, well, I would call you tomorrow and let you guys know what we're doing. And Salamandra told her she loved her, be safe, and have fun. And that was the last time she talked to her beautiful daughter. Shanquella was an entrepreneur. She owned 3 businesses. She had a child's clothing line, a child's braiding salon, and she has a boutique for adults as well, among other things that she was working on, including modeling and everything else, okay? These are facts, all right? This is a beautiful young woman, right? You would think she would come back and have a great time, come back and be with her family, be ready to celebrate Christmas. That didn't happen, you guys. 6 of them made it back and 1 didn't until a week later, all right? Shanquella Robinson was laid to rest on 11/19/2022. And her story started to really come out around the want to say the 6th or 7th of November, when Gerardo Zuniga came out with the Metropolitics paper and gave a lot of details. Now, a lot of people tried to say that Gerardo Zuniga was clout chasing. He was not. In fact, he was on to it. He was not lying. If you go back and do your research with either time zone, either timeline, he was not lying. He might have misspoke on some of the wording because, as you guys know, there is a difference of wording. There's a difference of chronological orders when it comes to different language barriers. And he might have not understood the language barriers with the chronological orders, but when it came down to having a subpoena and getting them arrested, no, he wasn't lying. He honestly thought that the American authorities was going to arrest them and that they had been arrested. In fact, he was told, allegedly, that they were going to be arrested, okay, from inside sources. All right. We also know the fact that, Mexico has had treaty with America for over 40 plus years with extradition laws to extradite criminals from Mexico to America, from America to Mexico. Okay. That is a standing treaty. All right. We also know, I'm going over facts, guys. I'm going to get to it. Hold on. We also know that once, all the evidence was clear, a red file was created. It was given to Interpol. Interpol is just what it is. It's the policy. It is the intra-policy people within governments. So you look at this as they're the ball and extensions of it. If you're a part of Interpol and a crime goes in your country, they are the ones that make sure all the evidence is there, the I's, the T's, everything is dotted. Nothing is missed. They do background checks on these people. They do it all. Once it is approved to go on to the country, which in this case was the United States, it either goes to the OIA or the DOS. The OIA is the Operation of International Affairs. Say, for instance, this was a person of interest and they are highly a flight risk. They can go through the OIA and obtain this person, detain this person, and hold them until they get all the information they needed. Now, holding and arresting is two different things. They can hold them, okay, because technically that's what they're doing, to be extradited to the country that they committed the crime with, okay. Now, if they lied to the authorities here and all that, which 9 times out of 10, the country will fly their authorities there to question them and all that. But guess what? They got to have information. They got to wait on America or whatever country it is to have permission to come over and, question this, the criminal. And next, okay, say for instance, Dejanay is not a flight risk, so it would go to the DOS, which is the Department of State. This takes a while, you guys. Department of State has to make sure everything, Interpol, Mexico, even in America, things have to be a certain way. Once the Department of State approves this, it goes to the DOJ. Okay, this is part of where my hubby works, the DOJ, okay? The DOJ is the Department of Justice. Once the DOS, Department of State, sends this file to the DOJ, they then do a third check. And once everything checks out, they go to the Supreme Judge. They then get a warrant for the person or persons arrest to be held, to be extradited to the country, which is Mexico, for the crime they committed. Okay, that's just a quick rundown of the facts. Okay, nothing extra, nothing else. Facts. So you guys, we're getting to the point, the meat and potatoes. Yeah, I know y'all ready. Get your fork, put your bib on, because y'all and pick your jaw up, okay? Because we're going to talk about this thing. So, how could I not put this together? So you guys, 1028, like I said, they all went out. They had a good time. They had a chef. They were eating. They were drinking. They did the little, what you call that game? If you can't do the push-ups, you have to take a shot. Guys, this was the setup. They were getting it right. They, honey, were setting up the post. They were getting us, letting us see what they were doing. They were drinking, they were drunk, and they were having fun. Yes, they were getting it. They were setting it all up for us. Yeah. So, and then you saw Shanquella walking through the halls, telling me, come on, y'all, let's go skinny dipping, let's get it together. But all of them were back there. All of them. And she wasn't drunk. She was like the life of the party. She was the one laughing, cutting up. Yes. Trying to get them pumped up. Let's go skinny dipping. Y'all ain't naked. Come on, itches. Y'all ain't naked. And then you see Malik and Khalil walking around in the room with their drawers hanging down. And the other girls were dressed. And one girl in particular, Dejanay, had on a blue dress. She said, I really don't want to wear that. It's not fitting right. Jealousy. Could have been. Oh, it was a lot of jealousy there. All right. So they were plotting and scamming. 10:29, early in the morning, there was an attack. So I told you guys that Quella was in her room. If you look at the video very closely, she has a sliding door. It was open, okay? When I told you my theory, I still hold to that. I think Dejanay went around, came through her door, and let the other 5 in. 4 at the time. Let them in so they could record the fight. All right? I think Dejanay let them in, and when she did let them in, she went to the bathroom and started her attack on Shanquella. That's how Shanquella fell, hit her head, busted her lip. That's how she got that knot on her head. She slipped, because even one of the girls said it was a big loud bang. And they ran in, allegedly, and the attack was happening. It led out, because people was like, why is she so slow? Why is she so sluggish? That's because she got attacked in the shower. That's why she was naked. If you look at her bed, you guys, had her clothes on it, okay? So she was attacked in the shower. Her head was hit in the shower, okay? She probably was not lucid. I'm telling you, she was probably dazed. And she was trying to throw her hands up because she was so dazed, all right, you guys? And Dejanay Jackson attacked her, and they recorded. Okay? This was in the morning. So let's get to the meat and potatoes. I don't want to be too much longer. But anyway, you guys remember when Nazzeer Wiggins gave his account of what happened. He said that when he called them, the other 5, that to tell them he was on his way, that a friend of the Cabo's 5 that was there, the 6, stated it looked like Shanquella had alcohol poisoning and she was resting and she was not like responding like she was supposed to. Then he said they had called the doctor and the doctor was on the way. Now, let's get to this. At 3:15, the doctor arrived because remember, they called the doctor at 2:15. The doctor arrived at 3:15. Okay? Khalil Cooke was there. So how could somebody tell him when he was already there? Exposure number 1. Remember, he arrived in Cabo at 12:15. He got there at 2 o'clock. He said himself it took him an hour to arrive at the villa. And when he arrived, he was recording. But the doctor was there at 3:15. Okay? Y'all look at it. It's on the police report. Look at my screenshot of the police report. Look at it. And then go back Khalil and compare. So the doctor arrives at 3:15. All of them are there. The first time alcohol poisoning was even mentioned was when the doctor arrived. You know why? Because Dr. Catalina Omeres is one of the doctors that have been called to the villas. She is associated with the villas when people get sick and all that, and she said it looked like alcohol poisoning. She arrived at 3:15. A whole hour passed. 4:15. Khalil Cooke called Salamandra. 4:15. Salamandra answered the phone. She was out eating. He told her that Shanquella was sick and it looked like alcohol poisoning, and that they had called a doctor. The doctor hadn't arrived, but oops, lies. Go back and look at the report. The doctor was there at 3:15. He called Salamandra at 4:15. Okay? All right, now let's get it. And she said, well, how do you know it's alcohol poisoning? Where would you even come up with that? Because if the doctor's not there, Salamandra even said that, it didn't sound right. But the doctor was there. That's where they got the medical terminology from, okay? You guys, when you're alcohol poisoned, it mimics being drunk. So if you go back and listen to what the report says, it says that they had too much to drink, that she was drunk. She had a whole lot to drink. The Cabo 6 never said anything about alcohol poisoning up until Khalil Cooke called Salamandra, Shanquella's mother. And they got that terminology from Catalina Omeres. Okay? A friend. That's what they called her. A friend. So, Catalina Omeres is a physician that works in Mexico, Cabo, at the hospital. She is one of the doctors that come out to the villas for 1 hour from 3:15 to 4:15. She talks and attempts an IV, and it was unattempted. But she said her vital signs were stable and that she just wasn't responsive. So she said it looks like alcohol poisoning. So I think she'll be fine, just giving her some rest, and she will come around. And this is how we treat alcohol poisoning, and just let her rest. And then if she doesn't get any rest, then, you know, we'll go ahead and take her to the hospital. Then they called, Khalil called Salamandra, you guys. Told her they needed $5,000 in order for her to go to the hospital. Salamandra told Khalil, well, $5,000, she has insurance. That should be sufficient, which it should. And she said, well, we're in a different country. We don't know how the insurance works. They just told us $5,000 because to treat her alcohol poisoning. And Salamandra was out eating. Now, this is going to blow you guys' mind. Salamandra was out eating. She said, please call me back and let me know how she's doing. Khalil called her again at 4:15. Salamandra was out eating with family at 6:20. Cabo time is 2 hours behind America time. It's mountain time. So 4:15 was there in Cabo, but 6:15 Salamandra got the call. So y'all see what I'm saying? 4:15, the doctor was there. They was not waiting for the doctor. The doctor was already there. Look at the police report. It's there. She's already there. And he calls to try to get $5,000. Yes. And there was no urgency for 1 hour from 3:15 to 4:15. There was no urgency. There was nothing but talking going on. And the doctor failed Shanquella. She didn't do anything. She didn't look at Shanquella as a risk, as being serious, because this is what they do. This is what she treats all the time at the villas. They treat this to keep it from becoming a femicide. So they won't have this on their hands, because femicide happens a lot in Mexico. And so they treat these people that get drunk and something happened to them as alcohol poisoning. So when they get home and there's an autopsy done, most people don't do an autopsy, but thank God Shanquella's mom and dad requested one. What blew this whole thing out the water is timelines don't match. Nazzeer said he wasn't there when he got there. He said the doctor wasn't there. They was on the way. But how could that be when you arrived there at 2:15? And the doctor was, and the doctor came at 3:15. So how could that be? Yeah, you said that yourself, Nazzeer. Where did the term alcohol poisoning come from? It came from Catalina Ramirez, MD. To say it was alcohol poisoning to cover up that it might have been a femicide that happened. They said she fell in the bathroom. That's how she got the bruises on her face. They drug her from the bathroom to the game room. They pulled her from the game room back to the bedroom. They moved her several times. Okay? All right? This is what it's saying there. Nazzeer said it too. But guess what? At 4:40, Shanquella started to seize for less than a minute. She loses control of her bowel. She, had a movement on herself. She starts to seize. Her breathing became very shallow. She was not responsive. At 4:45, the EMT was called. Emergency response team was called. At 5 o'clock, they arrived. They were, at I'm sorry, not at 5 o'clock, about 4:50, the EMTs arrived. They started life-saving measures. They did 14 rounds of CPR, allegedly, which would equate to almost 35 to 40 minutes, okay? They did 6 rounds of shocks and 4 rounds of adrenaline. They did 4 rounds of adrenaline, 6 rounds of shocks. How could that be when there was no heartbeat? I don't know. Make it make sense to me. I'm a medical professional. We use the first line drug as epinephrine, okay? So she was pronounced, she had transitioned allegedly at 17:57, which is military time, and civilian time is 5:57 p.m. She was pronounced unalived. So you make it make sense to me that this doctor was there a whole entire hour and never did anything. And Khalil lied and called Salamandra 4:15 to 4:20 Cabo time. Salamandra received the phone call at 6:20 American time. That adds up. The doctor was there. The first time they even heard anything about ETOH or alcohol poisoning was from the doctor's mouth. When I tell you guys, go and do your homework, go back and look at this, and I told you guys I'm going to be on it. I am going to be on this case like white on rice, like flies on ish, okay? Make it make sense. I just made it make sense. Nazzeer, you were there. And you did some other things too. You were there. You are an accomplice. You are a liar. And you are the weakest link. Thank you for giving us your statement. Thank you very much. Thank you, Khalil. You did very good. Thank you for calling during the time that the doctor was there, and you lied to her mother and said the doctor was not there. By the police report, she was there, okay? She was there, and she is Catalina Almeda's MD, all right? So you guys, I will be back later with more, This is exposure. I'm exposing these people, okay? All right? All right? So remember, all things are alleged in my opinion. All right? This is my opinion. This is my analysis of the timelines. I told you guys the timelines didn't match up. Nazzeer's timeline did not match up. And I'm here to tell you guys that's why he lied. And then he tried his best, you guys, to give an itinerary of returning to the States to match his lie. But guess what? We are not dumb. We saw where it says returning from DFW to Charlotte. Come on. You got to be smarter than that. You know better. Honey, most of us are women on this show. We investigate, okay? All right? You got to be smarter, baby, because right now, you're not smart. Anyway, you guys, thank you for listening. Merry Christmas to you. Have a happy holiday. Be safe out in these streets. Get hydrated, get caffeinated, get motivated, get moving. Hug your friends, hug your family. Make up, because ain't nothing that bad when you can't make up, okay? All right, you guys, thank you, and I will talk to you guys later. Merry Christmas.